Hey everybody, we're back with Power Season 6 Episode 9 review. This episode is called Scorched Earth. Well, wait a minute. First, we didn't do a review last week. I was sick. So, last week we found out that Keisha got killed at the hands of Tasha St. Patrick.
Yeah.
And that was basically the highlight of the episode. Everything happened that Tommy's mom said would happen, which is she was willing to flip on everybody behind cash. Blanca threatened her with the child services, and she signed the paperwork. So ultimately, we found out Lakeisha was not actually as down as she really wanted to be, and she had to pay the ultimate price. So,
Do you think it would be easier not telling or doing what she did when she went in the courthouse?
I can only speak for myself and say it would be easier for me to not tell.
That's all I wanted to know.
Wow, what would your take be?
It would be easier not to tell.
Oh.
She would have probably, if she she flipped that easy, she would have told one of those guards in the courthouse what was going on. She told super fast and easy.
Yeah, like you don't
paper right out the court here, sign this.
Like you don't even because she's not thinking, okay, baby, they're gonna take you, but we're gonna get you out of this. Like,
yeah, like y'all got so much money, the lawyer, that, you know what I mean? The lawyer would be able to handle that. First of all, they're not even taking cash downtown. If anything, they gonna seize that house then. For Tommy's name should not be on that house at all.
Yeah, but at the same time, I don't think that Keisha would be able to prove that she could afford it either. So.
Yeah. But what type of business does Tommy even have?
I don't know. But anywho, this episode picks up immediately following Keisha's death, and Tommy is really heartbroken at the death of his girlfriend. He takes Cash to his father, Kadim's house. Kadim is actually played by Jesse Williams, who we all know is one of the cuties off Grey's Anatomy. Unfortunately, the way they had him with the tattoos all on his neck and the gold chain and all that, he wasn't necessarily convincing to me as a thug. So, well, at first I was happy to see that he would be making an appearance on Power. I was really not convinced of him being able to pull off the whole thug appeal. So, I don't know. Thoughts on Kadim?
No, just a short part for somebody who's supposed to be a star. Probably the best actor on the show. They gave him the shortest part.
So, Tommy leaves Kadim's house and he's approached by Blanca.
Blanca's the Spanish cop.
Yeah. She presses him immediately, even accusing him of killing Lakeisha himself. When asked about his whereabouts at the time of the murder, Tommy tells Detective Blanca that he was shopping with her son for an engagement ring. Before he ends the conversation, he tells her to check the tape and to leave Cash alone. Blanca makes one last push by telling Tommy that Keisha was going to flip on him. But Tommy really isn't entertaining that. He's like, Lakeisha was going to be my girl to the end. She was never going to fold, which she was, Tommy. Sorry.
Damn, Tommy. About that ring and everything.
I know. So after Tate set up, after Ghost set up Tate, with the hot mic situation. Basically ended up having to drop out of the race. Well, there's a location where James, Ghost, and Tommy want to take Jason out at. But Ghost is scoping out the location with Ramona Garrity and Loretta Walsh. Well, actually, they pop up on him while he's checking out the space. Ramona reveals that she no longer works with Tate and is now working for Loretta's campaign. Lorette, I guess is her name, offers James the opportunity to come on board and run alongside her as her lieutenant governor, which this had me pretty ticked off because that would literally never happen. Like, don't you think that there's extensive background checks that are done on gubernatorial candidates? I just don't see how this would happen, and this really ticked me off from the beginning of the episode. So James sees the opportunity for what it is. Walsh wants him to get the black vote, and she tells him she likes how he thinks or whatever. So I guess they plan to make the announcement the following morning. Tommy's still mourning over the loss of Lakeisha, but it's interrupted by a phone call. Ghost is on the other end, making sure Tommy completed his part of the plan by placing a gun in the elevator so they can go through with their plans to take out Jason in the location that Ghost was scoping out. Tommy is silent for a minute, but he finally confirms he did what Ghost asked. But we later find out that he was lying. So at this point, Ramona links up with Tate, but plays it off like she still works with him despite the fact that she doesn't. Unaware she has switched sides, Tate reveals to Ramona that he is no longer working with James and that he has a plan to get rid of him. Ramona plays it off as if she is still loyal to Tate, and he goes right with it. So Tate meets up with James and tells him face to face that he will no longer be needing his services. He also threatens to reveal to the press that James is Ghost, but that doesn't, Ghost doesn't care. Ghost tells Tate that a big announcement regarding himself is coming and that Tate should look out for it. Tate leaves and heads back to his campaign office where he meets up with Ramona to discuss a plan of action, but gets some bad news. She informs him that she is no longer working with him, but working for his opponent. So Tate's vision of being governor of New York is finito.
Well, not yet. We gotta see if he gets the dirt on James.
So Dre links up with Blanca. She presses him about Lakeisha's murder. Dre immediately believes it was Tommy who did it, but Blanca thinks it was someone else because of the way Tommy reacted to the news. Dre suggests it would have to be someone loyal to Tommy. So it could have been someone inside the crew. When Blanca asks for the location of the warehouse, Dre tells her that he does not know. Blanca threatens him with another ankle monitor. But Dre responds and says that he was taken there in the trunk by Tommy's henchmen or whatever, and she should check the locations of the monitor. And then she'll find out where the warehouse is. He also tells Blanca that she will find the drugs and the crew, and Tommy possibly there. Blanca informs Dre that if the information checks out, Tommy and his goons will be off the street that night, and that Dre will be square with her. As he walks away, it seems like he has a sinister plan in his head. He can't wait for Tommy and his crew to get off the street so he can look up with Jason and be the new distro. I hate Dre.
Why let people keep giving Dre chances?
So next we have Ghost busy trying to convince Jason to scope out the building he is looking to purchase. After breaking down him getting in the building and basically Ghost is trying to explain to Jason that he has an exciting new opportunity for him
to be co-owner of that building.
But I guess Ghost doesn't want anybody to know that his name is attached. So Ghost gives him the location, but tells him that he cannot bring any weapons with him because it would not be a good look.
Or his bodyguard that he always has with him.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't think it was, I also don't feel like it was realistic for Jason to agree to that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
either.
Just given Jason's track record, I don't.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, Jason was just super sloppy.
Dre, knowing that there's gonna be they're gonna be running up in the warehouse, decides to call Jason to break the news to him. He proposes that he can help make the transition smooth to another distro for Jason, with him being ready to step up in place of Tommy and his crew.
Now, ain't that weird that Jason ain't call Tommy right after?
Yeah, to see what is he talking about? Jason is hesitant about the new information before deciding to consider what Dre is offering him. I don't know. So things between Ghost and Tasha get really touchy when he walks in on his ex-wife conducting drug business in her daycare. He does not particularly like what he just saw, and she tells him that she's not going to be attending the parent-teacher meeting at Tariq's new school. They have a little argument about what Ghost feels is Tasha choosing moving weight over their son's education. But Ghost, please, you got a lot of nerve because you didn't choose moving weight over your household for a number of years. And
yeah, but he was trying to get out. Tasha kept.
He wasn't trying to get out the whole entire time. He was only trying to get out from the beginning of the show, from what we saw. Yeah. But they have built themselves up to this lifestyle.
I want my son to do better.
You can, and I'm not mad about him wanting his son to do better. All I'm saying is, at the same time, he's being stingy with the purse strings with Tasha. And she's just trying to she's doing, at this point, I don't really feel like she's making it seem like she's trying to live some sort of lavish lifestyle, but she's like, dang, I ain't got no cheese. I need some help out here. And this is what she resorted to.
Tricking. She selling drugs out of her daycare. How good shit is that?
Well, I guess her not going was a good idea because Ghost ends up talking to Tariq's teacher, and Tariq's teacher just cannot stop beaming about his new student.
He looked like he was high when he was talking to him.
Ghost picks up on the praise, and his ears perk up when the teacher mentions Tariq's after-school job. His suspicions are confirmed when he sees that the job is at the daycare. So he basically knows that Tariq is now like involved in the selling of the drugs with his mother at her place of business. So Tasha walks into her apartment and Ghost is in her apartment. He broke in there after he learned about the daycare situation from Tariq's teacher. Tasha argues that her idea of allowing Tariq to sell drugs is the best way to keep him out of jail and from getting killed. His dad begs to differ and thinks what Tasha is doing is crazy.
I agree.
It doesn't really make sense to me. I mean, I see what they're trying to do, but I don't agree with the method that they're trying to use. So then James Ghost ends up threatening to have her daycare shut down and to take Yaz away from him. First of all, don't either one of y'all never see Yaz anyway.
Yaz ain't gonna live with you.
Where's Yaz?
With grandma.
Anybody seen Yaz? So Tasha gets mad after he says that. She threatens to snitch to the feds and tell them that he killed Terry Silver. She says she doesn't really have any proof, but she knows he did it.
I know deep down in my soul you did it, so I'm gonna tell you. But hang out here with that. I ain't do nothing.
So that really pissed him off. So they get physical, and Ghost pushes her against the what is that, the fridge?
Yeah.
Got her end up, got his hand all up on her face.
On her jugular.
Oh man, it was his hands were on her neck.
Oh, man.
I thought they was on her arms because her arms ended up being bruised.
Now, was the arm bruise really from Ghost or was it from Keisha? That's why I thought she was trying to blame it on Ghost, but I think it was really from Keisha.
No, I think it was from Ghost.
Her and Keisha had a real scene. That's what I was thinking.
They had a real scene.
I don't think the grab from Ghost would do all that.
I think the grab from Ghost would do that before a grab from Keisha.
Really? That fast?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because if it was a grab from Keisha, they was just fighting though.
They was fighting, but
they had like a kind of a karate scene.
Keisha's grip ain't gonna be as strong as Ghost's done.
But a hit would be hurt more.
Yeah, but she wasn't hitting her in the arms.
To try to get the gun off of her, that's just they was.
Oh, yeah. I guess. But
that's why I was like, I thought that was more from Keisha. That's why she was really trying to hide it.
Mm-mm. I don't agree.
That's what I agree. I don't think that little altercation. I think Ghost was being aggressive, but I don't think he was being like abusive aggressive. Like that she had marks like she was fighting.
And given the way that scene went down, I would have thought Tasha would have fought back more.
But he ain't do nothing. He ain't do nothing. He tried to control her and it didn't work, and he got mad and left.
Yes, he did. He gripped her up.
He gripped her up, but it didn't work. He thought she was gonna be scared, and she wasn't scared. So he ain't do nothing. His little tactics ain't working with the family.
He shouldn't have put his hands on her.
He shouldn't have put his hands on her, but he ain't abuse her.
Yes, he did.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, he did.
Okay.
All right, and then before he left out, he like mushed her in the head, like super disrespectful.
That's a much. Is that abuse?
It is. Don't touch.
Is that how she got the scars on her or from the mush?
No, I see you're trying to be funny here, but clearly we don't agree on what abuse is.
I mean, I'm not saying that it was out of line, definitely, but I don't think her arm got black and blue marks because he pushed her up against the thing. I think that was from her legitimately fighting Keisha.
Okay. So Ghost goes to Truth and he's drinking and he decides to snitch on Tasha, leaving an anonymous tip with the feds about the daycare. Blanca wastes no time and leads a search of the daycare, but it turns up empty. The damage is done. The stripper Epiphany, I like her, is spooked and tells Tasha that she and the girls will no longer be selling drugs for her Tasha says that it's on like Donkey Kong. She didn't say that.
Now, can they get a tip like that? Will a tip like that give you a warrant to be able to raid somebody's daycare?
I mean, if that was the case, anybody could be doing that.
Yeah, and then it's like anonymous. Like even for everything to stick, they're going to need the witness. That's how I thought it. I don't know. 'Cause they would need evidence for having proof to get a warrant, so they would definitely need that person who called the feds to testify. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just thinking too much.
I mean, if you could just tell anybody if you could just call willy-nilly on anybody, people would be doing it all the time, I feel like.
They would have had somebody come past the daycare, but they wouldn't have pressed SWAT. But I'm glad Tasha didn't have anything in there. But I do think her homegirl did have something in her purse or whatever. She was like, I'm done with you.
Okay, Tommy calls his crew and tells them to meet him at the warehouse. During the call, 2-Bit asks him, what about Ghost? And Tommy assures him that they will be done for good. 2-Bit, Spank, and BG's replacement are discussing Tommy's recent behavior. They also get a surprise visit from the feds. Timeout. Why is it Courtney Kemp and 50, y'all still have not acknowledged the death of BG? This is like Tommy's right hand. Nobody said a word about it. Nobody's angry about it. Like, nothing. I mean, nothing. Nothing.
Oh, wow.
Tommy shows up while the place is getting raided, but he didn't like go to the warehouse. He's kind of like looking on from afar.
But if you think Tommy's a murderer, why don't you raid his house before you raid his warehouse? I would raid his real house before I raid his warehouse, or have them both going on that simultaneous time. No, I still never raided Tommy's house.
No.
A serial killer.
2-Bit and Spank see Tommy watching them from afar, and they feel like Tommy set them up.
Of course, Tommy thinks it's Ghost. Ghost.
So all you see is 2-Bit, Spank, and the other dude getting taken away in the cop car. At this time, Dre is also getting his new crew together.
A whole bunch of flunkies.
I know. They're preparing to make a move back into the drug game, and he tells them to sit tight because he's waiting on Jason, and the money's gonna be just pouring in. So, yeah, he kind of like put the cart before the horse there, didn't he? Mm-hmm. So Jason arrives at the Queen's building to meet up with Ghost. Despite his goon urging him to take a gun with him, Jason does not take the gun. There is a little bit of a tense moment with Jason as he waits to step through the metal detector, but it subsides and he checks out. Jason and Ghost step into the elevator, and Ghost pretends to tie his shoe and searches the area where Tommy was supposed to leave the gun. While all this is going on, Jason receives a text from Tommy telling him that Ghost is going to kill him. So he pulls out this. So at this point, Jason pulls out this thing from his watch. It's like some old Mission Impossible type contraption. And he's trying to strangle Ghost.
With a wire.
Yeah.
With his Vidal Sassoon hair.
Right. So they end up getting into a battle back and forth in this elevator. Ghost ends up getting the upper hand and uses Jason's little wire thingamajig and like dang on there decapitates Jason. Which one thing I also found weird is how is there all that blood and Ghost did not have a drop of blood on his shirt?
Boy, he'd had so much blood on it. He ever see one at that time?
Yes.
Oh,
he had I don't know if it was a white shirt or a light blue shirt.
Yeah.
But there was like no blood on him. I'm like,
if he put in work like that, if he had that boy's neck hanging like that,
man, there was, and you could see the blood like oozing out, like and saturating Jason's clothing, but not one drop was on Ghost.
And I'm not sure how you gonna alter the video to make it seem like, because Ghost was there early. Okay, so it does look like Jason walking in by himself, right?
I guess. Oh yeah, it would look like Jason was walking in by himself. Yeah. So after that, Ghost pulls Jason out of the elevator and leaves him on the rooftop. He uses Jason's hand to open his phone and sees that Tommy sent the text message.
Which everybody always has their real names in the phones, and it just says Tommy, blah 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 blah. And then they're never discreet or anything, and it's always like the main phone.
Yeah. Ghost then sends a text to Dre from Jason's phone telling him to meet him on the rooftop at the address where he left Jason's body. He also messaged Jason's goons telling him that Dre double-crossed him.
Ghost is the ultimate liar.
When he gets downstairs, he pays off the security guard and tells him to call the feds when Dre shows up. And Dre shows up and discovers the body and is immediately discovered by security.
But of course he gets away.
He quickly runs away before the feds can arrive.
Nobody gets caught.
He knows he's in trouble. Like, I don't understand how Dre has to be the luckiest man in the world at this point. Because he should be dead. She should be dead by now.
Over.
Ghost calls Tommy and asks him why he set him up. Tommy accuses him of killing Lakeisha, and Ghost flat out denies it. But
Tommy don't believe it.
Tommy doesn't believe him. Ghost ends up going back at Truth, where he meets up with Proctor's cousin Benny, who is not too happy. Benny feels that Ghost lied to him about who killed his cousin after he did some investigating. They go back and forth for a little bit, and Ghost says that it could have been Tommy, but at the same time, he reassured him that Tariq had nothing to do with Proctor's death.
I'm like, man, how did you know they're taking the bidding? Like,
right.
How? That's like the dumbest thing.
So he did have something to do with it.
Yeah, like there's no way.
He just didn't
like,
physically help kill him. But
yeah, but I was like, your son knew what happened. Like, there's no way your son even knew where I lived.
Right. So Benny takes the new information and decides to run up on Tommy.
Not giving him the same chance that he just gave Ghost. He pulls out his knife and tries to stab Tommy.
I know.
But meanwhile, you don't even know if Tommy tried to kill.
So he tries to kill Tommy. Tommy ends up getting the upper hand and ends up shoving the knife right in Benny's heart and twisting it. Benny pulls it out, and then you see all this blood all over the place.
He dipped out of this world. But the way I look at it too, they was trying to make Benny act like he was tough. He got killed super fast and easy.
Yeah, he did. But he might be tough compared to the dudes he's normally around.
Crazy that goes.
So now Blanca is trying to get help from Sax. Blanca tells him about Lakeisha's death and explains that she doesn't believe that Tommy did it. Sax suggests that they put some pressure on Tasha, because they think Tasha's weak.
Sax is something else funny too on this episode. I can't remember what he said. It's actually funny though, man.
They head over to Tasha's apartment, And when they mention Lakeisha's death, Tasha turns on the acting, which was terrible. Sax tells her to cut the act and then asks her if James killed Lakeisha. Sax points out Sax basically mentions all of the occasions where her ex-husband betrayed her, and Blanca notices the bruises from her ex-husband. Blanca also threatens to put more pressure on Tariq, and that breaks through with Tasha. She reveals that Ghost did not kill Lakeisha, but he did kill Terry Silver. She spills the details, telling Sax and Blanca where they can look to find Terry Silver's body. That was also outlandish to me.
He was looking all ashy, the back of his head.
So they go to the parking lot where Silver's abandoned vehicle was. They pop the trunk and Silver's rotting body is in the trunk.
Which would have been stinking forever now, and somebody
would have been called the police. While searching,
their body it stinks so bad if it was just decaying for that long.
I know.
With the organs and everything still in it.
While searching the car for clues, Sax finds a cell phone that Ghost forgot to grab and puts it in his pocket before Blanca can see him. Blanca asks Sax if he discovered anything, and he does not mention the phone, and just shows her a playbill from the play Hamilton that I guess Terry's went to go see.
Sax got Dre to
Oh yeah. So Sax gets Dre to plant the cell phone in Ghost's hotel room.
Yeah, what did he wager though? Like how did Dre become an informant again after they said you're free to go? Like, what's the reason? What motive?
Because
Dre with the Sax.
Yeah, because he's saying that he got Jason set him up with Jason. Yeah. So Dre takes the phone and leaves it in the hotel, like Sax tells him.
But meanwhile, there's cameras everywhere in the hotel room. In the hotel. So if it really came down to it, then they would know that Dre broke into his hotel room.
Then didn't Tommy meet up with Tariq and Tasha?
Was that? I thought that might have been before. That's why he thought Ghost is the one who snitched on the people, because he found out that Ghost snitched on the salon. No, not the salon. No, the daycare. Yeah, I don't know.
He's like, I don't know. This new Ghost, man. Yeah. This new Ghost. But Ghost wasn't the only one telling. So he did the most egregious violations. But he wasn't the only one telling in this episode. Everybody, I get, was just like Takashi Central out there.
I was just like, Keisha's dead? Tariq just looking at her like, Mom, you knew.
Yeah. Like, he's just looking like, I don't know. Tasha's acting wasn't very convincing.
Yeah, the more time she spent on that show, the more I'm starting to think she's not a good actress. I'm sorry. I apologize, Tasha. I like you as a person.
Yeah.
At least as an actress. But these, I don't know. I don't know if they tell them to make it sound like that or what. Cause
they can't. I'm sure they don't. So Tariq is mad after the meeting, because at the meeting with Tasha, he basically telling his mom, like, you stop trying to protect me. I'm the one who's supposed to be protecting you. So then he goes and confronts Ghost.
He gives him his key back.
Yeah, he throws the key card at him, telling him he no longer needs it because he won't be staying with him anymore. Ghost is taken aback at what's going on and claims that Tasha is just trying to turn Tariq against him. Tariq tells his dad that it's not what he thinks and that Ghost lost him a long time ago. Ghost tries his best to convince Tariq that all he is trying to do is to provide his son a better alternative than selling drugs. Tariq isn't trying to hear it. He's getting smart and talking sick to his dad. Ultimately, he tells him to stay away from both him and his mom. And Tariq says, if you ever put your hands on my mom again, and then I'm going to murder you myself. So that's the end of the episode. So yeah, this episode made me mad, and I don't know.
I have nothing to say. Still the same old power. Just a whole bunch of cowboys and Indians, I guess. But only one side's winning. And it's not the Cowboys.
I'm rooting for Power because I've been rocking with the show this long. The writing is bad. But I'm really hoping that the writing will get
It's too
better.
late, man. There should be at least 2 or 3 of the bad guys in jail right now. This should be like somebody, even if they was in jail, they should make it realistic to where they could be calling shots from jail. Like, ghosts don't have to be out in the streets.
Excuse me.
Tommy don't have to be out in the streets.
No, they don't.
Like, make it at least a little realistic. Like, these people was just running around killing everybody. Like, the most federal agents are dying. It's just like, we're not even raiding their house. We're just going to try to get their drug stash. So you get Tommy on drugs, then what? That boy he killed the DA, didn't he? The DA? What was the dude that was in Proctor's house? What was it? What was he?
I thought he was like some sort of
CIA agent?
or ex.
Yeah,
I think he was.
Yeah, I think
used
he's
to.
ex-CIA agent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's crazy. They looked for him for like 2 days.
In New York, they hand out time for just a gun charge alone.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And Tommy always got it on him.
So.
Well, hopefully you guys do get better. I'm still staying strong at a D for my grade.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to come down there too. D.
All right.
All right. Well, I guess we'll talk to you guys next week. Or, yeah, next week.
Yep, next week.
Talk to you later. Bye.